Hello and welcome back to my channel Free Trade Analysis with Vaji Kazmi. Okay, so in this video we will be analyzing the USDJPY pair, and next we will be analyzing Dow Jones, and then we will be analyzing DE30, then Bitcoin analysis will be done, and later on Ethereum analysis will be done. So let's start off with the USDJPY analysis, and we have currently opened this chart and we will continue from where we left off from a day before. Okay, so the scenarios that we gave to you are over here. The arrows are still here in place, and what we can clearly see that one of our scenario was hit beautifully, and this which was this buying scenario. Okay, since this area was not tested, so we are gonna remove this and this arrow. Okay, and this selling scenario was also not met. So this scenario was met. Market was over here when we were discussing. So and we gave you this area of interest. Okay. So what the market did, market came and market almost exactly tested our area of interest, and market closed above this area. And you guys could have just easily taken a trade over here and made huge profit, at least till here. Okay, then market went sideways and it later went up as well. If you guys would have not closed the trade, then you guys would be still in much profit. Okay, so just for your analysis, I'm gonna take a demo trade for you guys, so you guys can know that how much pips trade it was, and what was the risk to reward ratio that we had. Okay, and this is simply the risk to reward is 1 by 5.8, which is huge. Okay, and if I stretch it a little till here, and if I pull it up, and if you guys would have not closed this trade, then you guys would be in the profit of 7.6, okay, which is like 175 pips, which is huge profit. I mean, not every day is gonna be like this, but since you can clearly see that our scenarios are being hit, and our market is following our directions, and if you are a cautious trader like me, then you can easily make huge profits only by following the simple rules of market, no rocket science. Okay, so let's go and try to figure out what the market is try to do next, and what kind of trade you guys can take next. Okay, so now this area is now very far, so this area is not under discussion anymore, but this is a huge area, and this area, this sport should be removed now. Okay, so now what I am looking for, that this is an area of interest for me. Okay, this. So I'm gonna mark this area for you guys, this zone. Okay, this is a support zone. Another support zone is over here. Okay, now the support, the resistances have turned into supports. So, and this support is now somewhere here. So these are the support zones. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for a little while, and this is our most recent resistance level. Okay, let me open the 4-hour chart so I can have a better idea that do we have a resistance. Yes, this is the area of resistance. You can clearly see that this was the area of interest where the sellers had pushed down, and from here the buyers took the market up previously. So the sellers are acting, are taking charge. Okay, the buyers are trying to close above this area, and the sellers are trying to push the market down. Okay, so let's go to the possible scenarios that can happen. As you can clearly see that the market is bullish, so what we are trying to look for, we are trying to look for a good long trade. Okay, so that we will try to put several scenarios in place, and let's see that whichever scenario comes into play we will be ready. Okay, so the first of all, the idea that I have is that the market could go down till here, as this is the most recent area of interest, and then market, if the market closes above these points, then we can maybe go long from here. Okay, something like this. Or if the market is able to break this support zone, this resistance, this is the resistance. Okay, let me change its color to red so you guys can clearly know that this is our resistance. Okay, then maybe we can, if the market is able to break this area, and if you are a risky trader, then maybe you can go long straight away, something like this. So, and for a selling scenario to come into play, we have to wait for a little while that market makes a double top pattern, something like this over here. Okay, so for that, what we are gonna wait for is that something like this. Yes, something like this. So yes, over here, then we are gonna wait for our test. Okay, we are gonna wait for a retest till this area, and if this area is not broken, then maybe we can go short for a quick profit. Okay, something like this. Okay, another long scenario that I am looking at is if you're a non-risky trader, then maybe you can follow this pattern as well. If the market closes above this area, and if you're a cautious trader, then maybe you can wait for a little while and to market to retest this area. Okay, if market retests this area and closes above from here, then maybe you can go long easily and make a huge profit. Okay, so just wait and watch that whichever scenario is gonna hit, you guys have to be ready. Okay, now let's go and study the Dow Jones pair. Okay, so what happened in the Dow Jones area? Okay, so we gave you several scenarios in Dow Jones as well, and which scenario was executed. So this scenario was not executed, so we are gonna remove this. This area was respected, and when we were discussing, this market was over here. Did the market test over here and go short? No, market just went up till here. So we were over here. We wanted the market to test this area, but that did not happen. Okay. So what happened is that in this pattern, the market went down in a huge manner. Okay, and it did not go up. So what we can maybe do is that the double top was not hit exactly, but if you guys know that the kind of double top pattern was not made and a trade was not executed, then it is no problem. uh, we can never predict the 100% move of market. Okay, we can always just try our level best. Okay, so another scenario that I gave you guys was this buying scenario. Let me discuss it as well. Okay, so let me remove the selling scenario. It was not it. So another scenario was that if the market does not go over here but instead tries to go over here and respects this area, but you guys should not have taken this trade, but some risky traders would have taken this trade, that when the market came over here and this candle, this positive candle was a sign to buy, but you can clearly see that the R area of the support area was has been broken, and if you guys would have gone long over here, then the in the next 2 hours, you guys could have easily hit your stop loss from here. Okay, so you have to wait and watch everything, and every scenario has to be analyzed in several points, and you don't just blindly take a trade on an emotional basis. Okay, if our scenarios are not met, if our setups are not met, there is no need to take a trade. Okay, even if you are not taking a trade, that is also a very important part of trading, to understand that when to trade and when not to trade. Okay, so let's try to find out that what is happening in Dow Jones next, or what might happen in Dow Jones tomorrow. Okay, so what is going on? The market is currently at 34011, and this is the area that is being respected by market, and this zone as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark this zone for you guys. Okay, this is the zone that is being respected. Okay, so what we can do is we can wait for a little while. Okay, so if the market tries to test this zone, then and tries to close below, then maybe we can go short from here. Okay, so this is the most recent high. Now what the market is doing is that, and this is a recent low. Okay, now this area is not acting as our area of interest anymore, rather this area is acting as our area of interest now. Okay, so what we are going to look for is that the most recent area is this. Okay, so I'm gonna make a further area of resistance for us, so we can have a better idea that what can happen or what might happen. Okay, so if we see that currently we are in a sideways momentum, we are not in a selling pattern, we are not in a buying pattern. You can clearly see that the market is now going sideways. Okay, so in the sideways, what we easily do is we just identify our support and resistances, and we just trade accordingly to the support and resistance zones, and we don't go in further details. Okay, so the market is over here. If the market respects this area and goes up in this area and tests again, and then closes below, then we are gonna go short. Okay, so something like this. Something like this, and we can maybe achieve our targets. And if the market goes down, something like this, and let me just make a clear picture. And if yes, and if the market tests this area again, then maybe we can go long from here as well. Okay, for short-term scenario, we have to identify the overall pattern which is of buying. So we are gonna look for more buying setups. Okay, so if we are trying to look for good buying setups, then maybe this is our area of interest as well. Okay, so I'm gonna mark this area as well as previously. The market went up from here. Okay, this area, this is our area of interest as well. I'm gonna make this area blue, as this is an area of support. So there is a good chance that market can rise from here as well. Okay, from here and then go up, something like this. Okay, and if the market is able to break this area, okay, and then maybe you can go long straight away. But this scenario is only happening this scenario will only come into play if you are a risky trader. Otherwise, I would not really recommend to get in straight away. Okay, now let's move on to our next pair, which is DE30. Okay, so what happened and from where? Okay, so previously when we were discussing this pair, the market was at this level, and I identified this area for you guys that if it tests this area, then you can go short. Okay, so I will remove the other scenarios, which was this scenario, as this scenario never came into play, and this buying setup also never came into play. So this selling setup came into play beautifully, and we made a huge profit out of it. Okay, so I'm gonna take a demo trade so you guys can have an idea that how much profit we would have made if we would have simply just taken this trade. Okay, so this is a short scenario. We would have entered over here. The profit level would have been till this area, and our stop loss would have been on the top of this candle. Okay, so this is an area. This is the profit of 1 by 9.7 risk to reward, which is huge. What I am observing is that in our most of our pairs, in which any of our scenario has been hit, that it has been hit beautifully, and 1 by 5, 1 by 9. This is intense kind of profit that we are making together. What I want you guys to know is that you guys have to know your entry and exit points beautifully. Okay, you guys just do not wait for the market to hit your stop loss or hit your break even level. If you have a target of 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 5, just make sure you guys are exiting and you guys are not waiting for the market, and you guys are not just sitting in the market for the sake of it, that we would make profits always. Okay, just take your profits and get out of it. Okay, so now we are gonna try to analyze that what's gonna happen next. Okay, this and this. So market is over here, so what could happen next? Okay, so now this is our area of interest, and this is now reacting as what you can say an area of resistance. So what we can do is that as you can clearly see that 1 hour has broken this area, and now it has turned bearish for us. Now it is testing this area again, rather it has tested this area again, and it has closed below. If you guys were active, then we would have gone short from here and make a quick profit. So this was a previous area that we have marked. So what we can do is that stretch this area and stretch this area as well. Okay, in the 4 hours. So the 4 hours have gone down a little as well. So we are expecting a little bit of retracement. So what can happen if we take the Fibonacci out and we mark the Fibonacci levels? Yes, so the 50% area has already been tested, and now it is likely that it is gonna go down again. Okay, so now we are gonna mark our setups. So okay, so the market is over here. If the market goes up again, if the market goes up maybe here or maybe even till this level, but this is most recent area of interest. So we are gonna wait for the market to go up, then maybe we can go down. Okay, something like this. If the market closes below, then we are gonna go short from here. Okay, what will be our area of interest to go long? Okay, so the area of interest to go long would be this area, yes, or even this area. These two areas are both are areas of interest. This zone and this zone, rather this. So if we have to go long, we will go long from either if this area is tested. Okay, let me make this green so you guys know that this is a buying setup. Okay, if the market tests this area and closes above, then maybe you can go long from here. Or if the market closes still here, okay, market tests this area and then gives closing above this area, then maybe you can go long again. Okay, so these would be our possible scenarios, but let's just wait and watch that what can happen tomorrow. Let's go and analyze our BTC, the Bitcoin analysis now. Okay, so then what happened when till from the area where we were previously discussing, the market was over here. We gave you a scenario that if the market goes down here and respects this area, and then maybe we can go short, and this area has been hit for us. Okay, so let's just see. Yes, in the 4 hour. Okay, this trend line has been broken, so we are gonna remove this trend line. Okay, so which of our scenarios was hit? Okay, this setup was not executed, so we are gonna remove this setup, and even this setup was not executed, so we are gonna remove this as well. Our only selling setup was met, that the market went down this area and market respected this area like this and went short again, and again market tested this area over here, and then we would have gone short and we would have made a profit out of it. Okay, so small profit, but still any kind of profit is profit for a trader. Okay, big or small, doesn't matter. So we are gonna now try to identify that what could happen next in Bitcoin tomorrow. Okay, so the scenarios that we are looking at is, if we open the 4 hour chart, then it has broken this recent area of support, which means that there's a good chance that it can go down. Okay, now how are we gonna trade? This is a real question. Okay, I'm gonna mark a few arrows for you guys so you guys can know that where to go long and where to go short. My preference would be to go short currently, something like this. So I'm gonna make these in red color so you guys have a better idea, like this. Okay, so something like this, and another likely scenario is for going long if the market closes above this area. Okay, and if the market closes above this area and then market respects this area again, okay, only then we are gonna go long from here, something like this. Okay, like this. Okay, another scenario would be if the market is able to break this most recent area of interest. Okay, this market is testing this area several times. I'm gonna mark this area red as this is our area of resistance. Okay, so if the market is able to break this area, maybe you can go short straight away like this if you are a risky trader, and if you are not a risky trader, then maybe you can wait for a retest, something like this. The market goes down here and the market makes a retest, okay, like this, and then market goes down again, something like this. Okay, so you guys have to wait and watch that which scenario is being hit. Okay, so just be vigilant as the market is now going sideways for a little while. So make sure that whatever decision you are taking, you have to make sure that it is the right decision. My preference is that this will go short, as you can clearly see that the moving averages are also showing that the crossover in 1 hour has been made. So then it's most likely that BTC is gonna go down further. Okay, so next I'm gonna analyze is Ethereum. The Ethereum analysis is gonna happen for you guys next. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this trend line as this was not really respected. I'm gonna remove this. So what happened here? Okay, so the scenarios that I had given to you were that if the market was over here when I was giving you the trades, uh, either market would go straight up, but it did not happen. Market went down and market went up and market went down. But this area was not respected. So only one of us, these two setups were not hit. But if we look at another setup, which was this support zone, if you can clearly see that if I remove these two setups, our support zone was hit beautifully, the support zone that we had marked. And if you guys would have taken a trade just by identifying the support zone, that the support zone was tested and the market closed above the support zone, and you could have simply just taken a trade and you guys would have made a huge profit out of it. The amount of profit that you guys could have made would be something like this. Okay. Okay, so 1 by 7.7. Okay, once again, we have a huge profit ratio. So you guys have to know that these support zones are very intense and you guys can easily take a trade when the market enters a support zone or a resistance zone and it goes short, it enters a support zone and it goes long. Okay, so just be vigilant about these zones. These are very critical zones for us. Okay, I'm gonna try to stretch it a little. Yes, is this zone now being tested again? You guys can clearly see that it was tested over here, it was tested over here, it was tested over here, here. Okay, so this is a critical area. Okay, now what I'm seeing is that as the market went down, now market is making uh, higher low, higher low, higher low, and a higher low, which means that the market is trying to push up a little, okay, or we can say that market is trying to retrace. If I see the moving averages in Ethereum, we can clearly see that till now not all the moving averages have made the crossover, and we are not gonna see anytime soon that the selling would happen or the market would flip. Okay, even in the 1 hour, the moving averages are showing a picture that market has not yet flipped in the 1 hour. Okay, so what we can do is that we can mark an area for us from where our area of interest is, which is over here. This is our area of interest right now. This is the resistance area. Okay, so okay, now how we are gonna take a long trade if this area is broken, and if this area is broken, and then we are gonna, and this area is retested again, then maybe we can go long like this. Okay, but what if this area is broken? Okay, so if this area is broken, so okay, let me mark another area of interest, which is this. This is gonna be in green as it is a support zone. So I'm gonna wait for a little while. If this area is broken, this is the selling setup. If this area is broken and this area is retested, then maybe we can go short. Uh, like this. Okay, another setup would be to go long straight away if this area is broken. Okay, so these are the likely setups. So we have to know that which setup is gonna be executed. So if I even make a Fibonacci retracement for you guys, then okay. So maybe you can know that the 50% area has not yet been tested and it might be tested tomorrow. So I am a little bit bullish on Ethereum. Okay, so let's wait and watch that which scenario is gonna be hitting tomorrow. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel. That keeps me motivated to give you guys trades and all the analysis that I am doing. Okay, and let's hope for the best. And I hope you guys have a good trading scenario. I am trying my best to give you all the education about it. Okay, thank you, and see you guys in the next video.